So, sir, you've been on the music scene for a while now. How do you maintain your originality as well as stay up to date and relevant with the game?
I mean, as far as, staying relevant and keeping my originality intact, I think it really has a lot to do with being able to, keep up with the times and keep up with the changes that occur in our culture. Being a representative for the inner city, that's something that's always going to stay true to itself. So as long as I can always stay true to myself, then I feel as though I can, stay relevant with the culture as it changes and stay true to what I represent as an artist,
Okay, I definitely feel that. Definitely feel that. So, I guess, what inside you possesses you to make music? Like, why do you make music? You do it for yourself, for the fans? Like, why do you do it?
I make music for a few different reasons. Really, I make it because it's something that I'm gifted at doing, and I like to give my gift back to the people.
Right.
And at the same time, I know that this gift is something that would, set up my, my family for generations to come if it's done right and it's done well. So I wanted to benefit those around me with the gift that I have, and due to the fact that I feel like I'm able to relate to a lot of situations and a lot of people, I want to do that and get that back to the people,
That's real. I definitely feel that. So, like we said, you've been on the music scene for a while now. How long have you been on the music scene?
I've been doing music since maybe at least 2004, 2003. I think I released probably my first project.
Okay. What was that called?
Well, the very first project I ever worked on, it was called the Saint Project, but it was more like a warm-up project.
Right.
Even though it was with some cats that I was working with at the time, but I think the first solo album that I released was The Eighth Day, and that was in 2005. So that was actually a big learning process for me. Up until that point, I had probably just been recording music, getting feedback from my peers, getting feedback from my community, and basically just honing my skills and getting myself better as time progressed. By 2005, I felt like I was able to step out and venture with an original project to give to the street.
Smooth. You a vet in the game for real.
Yeah, I'm an underground vet. I've been working hard, diligent, trying to creeping on the come up, as they say in the city.
Right. That's how it gotta be, though. That's how it's gotta be. So like, what makes your music different from like another artist, from any other artists around here, BG, Cleveland, Ohio, the whole like just anywhere on the music scene? What makes your music different from anybody else?
Well, I have a philosophy, and that philosophy is that, everything under the sun has been done, except for my life.
Okay.
My life hasn't been written all the way yet, so I guess that separates me within itself. And I'm always a firm believer that art communicates emotions, so I feel as though I'm an artist just like a lot of people are, artists, but everybody paints a picture a different way. So I feel like my goal is to, while I'm painting my own picture, to make sure that it's something that the masses can relate to, and it's a vivid picture that they can sit there for years and years to come and be like, what, that was a great portrait that he painted. I really understood what he was going for with every stroke on the canvas. So, I feel as though
that's true.
That's basically what I feel as though separates it apart from that. Is just being true to myself and trying to communicate those emotions with every song that I put out. Really.
Okay, that's ill for real. So who influenced you to start making music, or did you have an influence? That's artist-wise, family-wise, or anything?
Yeah, I had a few influences. I probably feel like the first thing that probably triggered my music was my pops. He brought home this CD of this local artist. His name was Young Ray.
Okay.
And it's not the Young Ray that's out right now. He actually passed away. Rest in peace. He was from around the St. Clair area.
Okay.
And basically, I went to school with him, and he had brought home the tape, and it was something that I enjoyed. And I was thinking to myself, like, I feel like I could do what he does. And I was I was listening to a little Biggie, a little Bone at the time. Those were probably some of my favorites, because I wasn't really had that much access to that much rap being so young, but my sister had so much music available for me to listen to. Selly Cell, Scarface, throwback joints like that.
Right.
So I just really started writing more and more, just as something that I enjoyed to do and trying to get better at it. And after a while, like I say, I had been doing so much recording at the house until it got to the point where I felt like I could put something out on my own.
Smooth.
Which was that 8th day.
Okay.
So I have a lot of influence, but that probably was what started me to making music.
I feel that. That's definitely a factor right there, it seems. So you mentioned St. Clair, and you listened to a lot of Bone back in the day. So you obviously from Cleveland.
Right.
So tell the people about just being in Cleveland and going to school at BG. Like how'd that come about? Like just and Cleveland being your background and everything.
Well, I feel as though after I got to Bowling Green, there was a lot of people from the area, but it was a big transition coming from, Cleveland to a college setting. Just, what I'm saying? I didn't jump straight off the porch and come to college. I was in the street for a little bit and doing music also. So it was it was a little rough transition making that from the city of Cleveland to school.
Right.
But I felt as though it was something that I needed, not only for myself, but for my family and those around me, was to go ahead and get out of the city before I became another statistic that you read about.
Feel that.
Instead of hearing about. So, I decided to come on back to school. That probably had a lot to do with my mom's. She was a teacher and always influenced us to make those next steps in the education.
Right.
But at the same time, she still wanted me to just do what I wanted to do and what made me happy. But I felt like it would be foolish of me not to go ahead and knock this little school stuff out the way. It's only 4 years of my life, and at the same time, I'm learning something and still growing as an artist. So
seem like you got a good take on it.
Right, but I feel like I said, coming from Cleveland, it gave me a lot of. I feel like it gave me a lot of insight on how life works in general, not so much because the corporate world is a whole nother ball game.
Right.
But it gave me a lot of insight on how people operate and how to stay true to myself. Really.
That's true. Okay, I feel that. So I guess the next question would be, who's the hardest out in your opinion?
What, in the industry?
Anywhere. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, if they're not in the industry, they're not in the industry. Who's the hardest out?
Well, I would have to personally say that SIR is probably the nicest artist out right now.
Okay.
And then I would have to give a second runner-up to, probably the sophomore, junior class. You got your regulars that's been making their headway in the game right now as far as like Cole and Drake and things like that. I'm always waiting for that 3000 to come back, and Jeezy's doing his thing right now with the 103.
Jeezy killing.
It's a lot of artists on the underground. I do keep my ear to a lot of underground artists.
Got to.
Everybody from Kendrick Lamar to Fly Union to CC Serva out of the Natty, or Ray and MGK out of the city, or even my boy down in Panama, can't think of his name unfortunately, but they do dope music.
Okay.
It's a lot of artists out there that's doing their thing, but I feel as though when I do music and when I listen to music, I try not to listen to too much when I'm in a creative mood, because I want to sort of hone in on what I have to bring to the table.
Do what you do, your own vibe.
Yeah, I used to say it was me then followed by Jay-Z. Not to say that I'm comparing myself to Jay-Z, but I couldn't allow myself for that to be my favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? And I'm an artist myself. I have to, grow as an artist. But I do respect what he has, and Kanye, I do respect what they have going on. So yeah.
You gotta want to be the best. So you can't go into anything doing it halfways. So the confidence is great. I admire that for real. Speaking of you, SIR, you have a new single out, Like a Player, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, cause I bumped the joint for real. So I think it's a great joint, but how'd you come into the process of that? Just getting everything down from the beat, the hook to the bars. Where'd that come from?
Well, Like a Player, art imitates life, man, and it came the same way from that situation. That was always a phrase that me and my homies would use, for situations if you taking care of business, you getting it like a player.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you on top of your hustle, that's getting it like a player. You living like a player. If you polish, that's like a player.
I feel that.
I had actually stumbled across it was originally written to a sledgering joint. but I wound up getting a joint from Tone P.
Okay.
Who messes with Wale, does a lot of joints for him.
Oh wow.
And, the joint was just dope, and I felt as though it had a lot of potential to be something that could be a hit single. And when I actually rewrote Like a Player probably about 3 to 4 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is the final version. Probably is like the 4th or 5th version that I actually recorded.
Wow.
Just wanted
That's
to
crazy.
make sure. Like I said, we wanted it to be universal. We wanted to be a song that, you know what I'm saying, you could play getting ready to go out. It could be a song that you play in the locker room warming up.
That makes
sense. It could be a
sense.
song that you play in the gym working out, or
Right.
a song that you play on the way to your corporate meeting in the morning.
I feel that.
Because they playing hardball in the office as well. And that's just something that we wanted to relate with that song. We wanted it to be bigger than just, you know, some swag music that you hear on Saturday or is burnt out in about 6 or 7 months.
I feel that to the fullest.
So, you know, we've been working the record since the first of the year, and it's been getting a little steam, taking off slowly but surely.
It's doing this thing. It's doing this thing from what I've heard, what I've seen. You know. Still gotta. It's gonna keep pushing for real.
Just keep pushing it, really. So, you know, if you're getting like a player,
Get it like a player. Bump the anthem, might as well. So again, stay on your music path.